So I just wanted to take a quick look at the Lamy Safari ballpoint pen. I've had this pen for not too long, but I've had the Lamy Safari ballpoint in the past, and I recently picked this one up because I wanted to get that all black. And this is the special edition 2018 color. And having not had one of these for a while and then rebuying it, I've kind of, like, some of my memories of it are coming back to me. And it's a pretty nice pen. I think it's aesthetically quite pleasing. It uses the triangle grip that's popular with Lamy, but also is very similar to what TWSBI uses. Obviously, Lamy had it first. It uses this rubber kind of gasket thing around the push mechanism. That's kind of one of the distinctive features of the ballpoint line of the Safari and the other models like the AL Star and all those. Same clip design as the rest of the Safaris, and most of the features are very similar to the Safari roller ball that we have here. Same with the Safari fountain pens, but this one obviously does not have a cap. It's a distinguishing feature. This pen sells for about maybe $20, $23, something like that. It has a nice firm click. Although I will say that this does not compress evenly. Makes it look kind of sloppy and weird, kind of like the shock on a car. It's like a little kind of mushy and weird, but it is a good click. Has Lamy logo in the same color, which I really like. It's a nice clip, works quite well. It is, I believe, sprung steel, so it's not plastic. And then again, that distinctive grip, which I actually am really enjoying lately. In the past, I've had mixed feelings about it, but lately I'm really liking it. One of the interesting parts about the Lamy Safari ballpoint is, including like other Lamy ballpoints, is that it uses this really distinctive proprietary refill called the M16. And it looks like a standard refill, except it has this tip here, and then it stops short, and it has this weird plastic bit at the end, and that combined with a very long front end, a long narrow front end, means it's really difficult to find a replacement for this Lamy Safari M16. So if you like this pen but you want to flip to a different refill, it's extremely hard. And you could see here in the tip section, you have the outer plastic and an inner, I believe it's probably brass piece, and that brass piece is quite narrow throughout, not just at the bottom where it wants to hold the point of the pen, but it's quite narrow even at the opening here. So finding a refill that will fit this pen is hugely difficult, and I've done all sorts of attempts at modding different refills, and I have not found anything that works reliably well. So that's, I would say, the single biggest downside to this pen. Obviously, I don't think it looks as cool as the two-piece Lamy Safari line, like the rollerball and fountain pen, but I think it looks pretty nice, and it's definitely a pen I would use, but with being stuck with that M16 refill, or one other refill that's made for it, which is the Monteverde, neither of those I think are that good. So I don't end up using this pen very much, even though I like some features of it. So a quick writing test. This is the Lamy Safari ballpoint. And it's using an M16 refill. It's a pretty standard ballpoint refill. It's kind of like what you would get on a stock Rotring or something like that. It's just fine. It feels sort of draggy. I'm not the biggest fan of ballpoints for day-to-day writing, and this is one of my least favorite out there. So, and now I'm gonna move over to the Monteverde refill. And those aren't cheap. Those are maybe in the $6 range. So you're making this pen pretty expensive when you can go ahead and get the Safari rollerball for about the same price. And this is the So the Monteverde, which I bought maybe a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, it is better, right? It's a little bit smoother and less draggy than the M16, but it's still not great. And when I bought it, the only color available was this kind of weird brown, which I don't really like so much. So lately I've just been using the standard M16. But if you have one of these, or you have like a Lamy Swift and you have to get an M16 refill, I would definitely look to this Monteverde, and it's just called the soft roll. I don't even think they say M16 on it. I'm not sure what the relationship with Lamy is, if they okayed it or what. So to wrap things up on the Safari ballpoint, I think it's a pretty good pen in how it's designed. Nice click, looks cool. I like the charcoal, I like the all black. Actually, I definitely prefer it over the charcoal, but I would not recommend buying this pen just because that refill I really think is not up to the standards of a good ballpoint, and finding an alternative is really difficult. If you know of a way to hack some sort of different refill in there, I'd be really happy to hear about it, and I'll try to make a video showing people how to do it if it's reproducible at all. But for now, I'd say this is an interesting pen, and it has some nice features, but it's not really the way to go, especially at like 23 bucks. There's a lot better stuff you can get for way less. So thanks for watching.